so.
Oh, okay. Oh my God. We are live. Hello and welcome to Talk Shop. I am one of your hosts, Reka.
I'm your other host, Jordan.
Today we have an old friend, so funny, so talented, Garrett Palm.
Hi.
Garrett.
Thanks for having me on. I'm excited.
Oh,
and it got me to watch Top Chef.
Okay, because you're a food person, so I'm surprised that maybe you weren't already watching.
I watched some of the early seasons and it kind of dropped off my radar, and rewatching this kind of, although I don't remember it being so reality showy with like the behind the scenes stuff. Right?
Not
is that
every
new?
Season is. The old seasons are, the newer seasons are not. So it depends on like when you started watching. But I also just want to say that if you're like watching this being like, hey, how do I know Garrett? Garrett makes like all the food for Smosh. So if you're a little digital content freak, which I know all of you are, you've probably seen Garrett on Smosh.
Yes.
Eat it or yeet it.
Yep. Eat it or yeet it. I make some of the food punishments for some of the other shows there.
There you go.
Yeah. But yeah, mostly. And I've been on Sporked.
You came in for our mustard taste test that I led, which was really important to me. And we tried a bunch of mustard. And so I guess now is the time to ask, were you happy with the mustard you took home, and did Rachel, your girlfriend, like it?
She hasn't noticed.
What the hell?
Is this like on a TV show when someone gets a haircut and they're like, and Rachel has not noticed?
Well, because our fridge is so full of mustard already.
Oh,
that is so wild. This is the way that I bring home everything from work. So I bring home leftovers from work, and every day I call my roommates and my girlfriend into the living room, and I say, time for a haul. And then I make them watch me remove everything I bring home from a bag. And I go, ooh and ah, while I show them what I brought.
Now that is energy.
I always surprise her. I'm always like, start cooking with something. She's like, where did we get this? Like, I brought this home from work.
That's beautiful.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, Garrett, as Christine in the chat has said, we are sorry that this is your first episode. Because we don't like season 6, we being me and all my inner demons. I don't like the fighting. I don't like the bullying. I don't like the weird brother dynamic or whatever. So that stinks. And also you came in on Restaurant Wars, and Restaurant Wars is sort of everybody's least favorite.
We hate Restaurant Wars.
Yeah.
Oh, because in the Instagram post it looked like, and it's Restaurant Wars. And I thought that was
it was more like, and it's Restaurant Wars.
Yeah, it was more like haunting.
Yeah, like it sort of said it.
Yeah.
The reason we don't like that, for our longtime viewers, I am going to be eating soup. I gave everyone a warning. I'm going to be eating soup.
I love it.
I just ate a salad, and I would have kept eating.
Okay, together we could have been a you pick two moment.
Oh my God.
But for those of you guys who aren't longtime watchers, Restaurant Wars sucks because it's just like, it's all gas. It's no creativity. It's all like fake. Make anything possible in 72 hours or not 24 hours. And it like, nobody cares about the food. They're all making like kind of glorified hotel food. It's all like, I made a crudité, I made crudo, I made raw, like anything that takes very little time. And I'm not saying that those things can't taste good, but you don't see the creativity you see elsewhere in the show.
Watching the Restaurant War portion, it did remind me of when I worked briefly in a restaurant in New York, and
Which one? Can you say?
Peels. It's not around anymore.
Wait.
It was on the Lower East Side, or East Village, Lower East Side.
I think I've been to this restaurant.
Bowery.
Okay, keep going. Sorry, I just had to know.
It's like very well designed inside, like all white and wood, and like the owners were designers. It was the same owners as Freeman's.
Okay.
Yes, I'm familiar. Okay.
Yeah. But it like I would often get in the weeds there. I was the the coffee guy. So I was in the corner with the
hell yeah.
coffee machine, and just it brought back that feeling of brunch weeds, which I don't know. I kind of enjoyed that.
And from your vantage point, I'm jumping ahead here.
Yeah.
Do you think it's okay to kind of be super rude to one of your coworkers?
Oh no. So that is something I did not like. And I was like, oh, because I did not like. And can I spoil the end of the season?
Yeah, I think we're okay with spoiling. Cover your ears. This aired 20 years ago. Go ahead.
Yeah, and it shows. I was like, whoa, these styles. But yeah, so just the fact that the bully wins, like I don't know.
A lot of people would argue though that he was not the bully, I would say.
Really? What
Mike
would you
Isabella
say? His brother? What's it?
Mike Isabella is the bully.
Oh, well,
we hate him, and he's bad in real life too.
Isabella is actually a sexual predator, which is sort of like if bullies are here, obviously sexual predators are here on a scale of like bad.
I would say sexual predatoring is a form of bullying.
And do you think bullying is
a form of sexual predator? Wait, what?
Does it go the other way?
Yeah, is it square or rectangle?
I guess the way you look at it depends.
No, but it's true. And you can uncover your ears. But just like, I don't like the whole, like, you got to be rude in the kitchen. I'm like,
I don't like that either.
People have similar mentalities on film sets and stuff. And it's like, there is a difference between like, hey, sometimes we're going to be a little short or abbreviated with how we talk and communicate because we just need to keep clipping along or like, it's not about your personal stuff. It's just about like keeping us moving. There's a difference between that and like, relax. Which
that relax. Like
so condescending.
God. Yeah. No, that guy, I did not work with anybody like that, luckily, in where I worked. But yeah, I could not stand him. And I really liked who was the other the guy with the beard? Kevin. I like that guy. He seemed like a sweetheart.
He seems very nice.
Yeah. The sexual predator guy didn't really. He wasn't featured much in this episode, except they kind of showcase his creepiness at the next episode, at the end of the episode, like when Natalie comes and they keep cutting to him going like,
I think that's awesome to kind of warn you.
Yeah.
Like a big red flag waving.
Yeah.
So let's hop into it. We've given you a little preview. We've given you an amuse-bouche. This is one of the rare restaurant words where we get a quick fire, which is interesting. So we see this quick fire challenge of the tag team cook-off, where everyone is blindfolded. They're in two teams. One person from your team takes their blindfold off. They start cooking a meal for 10 minutes. Then the next person takes their blindfold off, has to kind of guess where the previous person left off. They do this until the fourth person goes, and that person has to finish the dish. So it's like 40 minutes to kind of complete a group dish. We're sort of relay racing and playing on a catch up.
And speaking of quick fire,
Jordan, I was on a freaking customer service call, and I don't know how our own show works. I was
like, damn, she's moving and grooving up top. She's doing a lot of stuff. Okay, Reika, let me hit it. Let me do what is normally Reika's.
Oh my God. Okay, yeah. Wait, do your impersonation of me, Jordan.
My impersonation of you?
Yeah.
I can't even do it. I have to practice. I'm too scared. Wait, let me turn my camera off.
Hey, Garrett. So we love to make sure this show looks polished and perfect every single time. So this is kind of one of the rare times when we've made a mistake. And I fumbled something format-wise. So Jordan's kind of pick up my slack. That's what it does. See, and you notice we didn't scream at each other.
Yeah. Okay. So this is how it should work. And Michael is not a good example of how people should interact.
Exactly. Okay, I'm Reika now. All right. So as you know, this is a charity show. It's so funny because I'm trying to do a Reika impression. It sounds so much like me because Reika and I talk so similarly. I'm like, oh, I just have to emphasize a bunch of words. And then I'm like, wait, that's also how I talk. Also, this is a tangent, but one of my coworkers took notes for me at work the other day. And when he gave it back to me, he like a bunch of them were bolded, or like not bolded, capitalized, like a bunch of the words randomly. And I was like, how did you decide what to capitalize? And he was like, well, anytime you really emphasize something you were saying, I capitalized it. And then it ended up being like 75% of the document. Also, Garrett, are you in the chat, Garrett? Are you seeing anything about the Confederate flag? Is that why your mouth is agape?
Yeah. Sorry. I'm listening. I just, oh, that
Is
sucks.
the Confederate flag? Okay, let's get this rolling. Jordan, I'll do it.
Go back to it. I don't know if I'm right. This is not defending him, but I do, just a factual statement. I believe he has blacked out his Confederate flag tattoo. Now that I guess now he understands what it symbolizes, ? I don't know. This is once again not me defending him, just an update on what I had seen in the Top Chef news. And this isn't his defense. I am a California fruit, so I don't know what to say about it. You know what I mean? Like, that's something to think about. I'm just kidding. I don't even really like Kevin that much. I'm fine if he's.
I mean, I just saw him in one episode.
Yeah, Garrett, what the hell?
That's all.
Guess what, baby? This is going straight to your boss and the president combined. So
you're all gonna see me defend a racist.
Yeah.
Incredible. Okay. Welcome to Talk Shop. This is a food charity based live stream. That is our first order of business. So as you guys know, we raised money for the San Antonio Food Bank a few episodes ago. We're still tying that stuff. You're wondering, how are they still doing that? It's because things come in piecemeal, Venmo donations. I'm accumulating signatures on a fan. There's a lot of stuff going on.
I've been to the post office multiple times.
I've been to the post office 4 times. So
we have to the post office multiple times, and y'all know how long that takes.
So we thank you. We thank the heavens. You're so accommodating to us in all of this. We will get you those numbers soon. That's the first order of business. Second order of business, Garrett, is something we didn't tell you, which is that Talk Chef, just like Top Chef, has a quick fire every episode, including this episode where I almost forgot one.
Well, I only remembered because I was so paranoid about forgetting to write the questions like I did last week that I did it way ahead of time today.
That's beautiful. And that's why you have a team. So Garrett,
okay.
This quick fire is not cooking based. It is all Garrett food and preference based.
Okay.
10 questions.
Okay.
45 seconds. So that is the fastest quick fire in Top Chef.
Oh God. Okay.
And Garrett, I know you, and I don't want to blow up your spot, but I kind of know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
You're thinking, hey, Jordan, Reka, freaking screw off. This sounds like a load of phooey. I don't like this.
I don't think you know me.
Yeah,
Garrett, we know you're.
I don't think you know me.
We know you're a douchebag. Iconically, Garrett's a douchebag. We all know that.
Yes. Iconically, big time stinky.
Not the nicest man in the world.
Why would you invite me then?
Because we like drama.
You think I'm such a douchebag.
You love the stink of drama.
Yeah. We're just like the Las Vegas season Top Chef producers.
Exactly. So we know, Garrett, that you're kind of like looking at us like we're dumbasses and you need an incentive to do this quick fire. I get that.
Okay.
So
okay, yes.
Wait, maybe
yeah.
Hold
on, incentive? Okay.
So if you complete this quick fire in time, there are a couple of prizes at stake here. Your first prize could be a deed to the Trelato wine vineyard.
Ever heard of it?
No.
Me neither.
So Trelato wine sponsored like seasons. It feels like 30 seasons of Top Chef, but like we haven't even gotten to them sponsoring it yet. So it must be like season 7 through 10. They're just such a present force in Top Chef still to this day, but it's a vineyard like nobody's ever heard of. Nobody knows where it is. You can't buy the wine anywhere, but they like sponsor this show. So it might be one of those wines that was like, it's like almost like, you know, Tool Time is a show on Home Improvement, but it's not a real show.
Well, then who's making the fake wine for
Good question.
This real show?
This is the kind of stuff that like they don't trust me with. I don't know. No one will answer me. So you could put a deed to that vineyard.
Oh, wow. A deed.
Mm-hmm. So you can make all the disgusting grape juice you want there.
Okay.
You can also win your own suite of broken GE appliances just like you see on the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of zoom ins on GE appliances, I noticed.
You know it. You love it.
Yeah.
Love it. And they'll be broken just like the ones on the show. So you'll get
Okay.
an oven that doesn't get up to temp, a fryer that doesn't get up to temp,
Great.
a freaking refrigerator whose door doesn't close. Ding dong. Hello. All of that could be yours.
Okay. I like this. I'm not a handyman at all, so I would not be able to repair any of this.
Okay. And that's actually okay.
Okay.
It's meant to be broken.
Okay.
So I will start a timer for 45 seconds for your quick fire after Jordan finishes asking question 1.
Okay.
Ready?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. What is the most delicious food you've ever cooked at Smosh?
The mushroom stew.
How far would you make it on Top Chef?
Eliminated second episode.
Black cod or trout?
Oh, I'm vegetarian, so trout.
What city should Top Chef go to next?
Vancouver, BC.
Would you take less money now or risk it to make more money later?
More money later.
What would your Top Chef restaurant be called?
Oh God. The Mountain.
Best food city in the world?
Portland, Oregon.
Favorite food?
Pizza.
Worst food?
I don't know if that sandwiches.
So close, Garrett.
Garrett, I'm so sorry. You were really close though.
I don't even think sandwiches are that bad of a food.
Yeah,
I just said the first food I thought of.
I'm
That's
sending
a
this
really crazy thing to
your
say.
boss and the president combined.
Both Ian Hecox and Joe Biden.
Yes. Exactly.
And I'm not going to say which one is your boss and which one is the president.
I'm not saying either.
Well, good luck getting those two in a room together.
Uh-oh.
I know. It's awkward because they hooked up.
Yeah, because they hooked up and they still hook up.
They still hook up.
SMPH, FML. Okay, gorgeous. So now we can be normal and start the episode. Thank you guys for putting up with the chaos.
Love you, Reika. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I had to eat my soup on camera. I was on the phone.
That was great when you made your soup on camera.
Everyone liked me eating my soup on camera. Okay, so quick fire, tag team, cook off, yada yada, blindfold. Okay, great. So our two teams are Jen, Carol, Kevin, Mike, Isabella, and Maureen. And then we get Michael, Brian, Eli, and Robin. You can't speak at all. So and the prize is $10,000 to be split between the 4 team members. So firstly, before I dive into the dishes, what do we think of this kind of quick fire?
I loved it.
I used to be a big hater on this kind of thing because I think I didn't like the aspect where you can't speak or like see anything. It just didn't feel like it was a parallel to any real chef situation. I felt like a communication-based thing would be cool, but now that I'm deep in the sauce of Top Chef, I'm like, I get it. I get you what you have to do to make it a TV show. So I think I'm on board.
I think like there is like an aspect of like you're making, like showing up to the kitchen and having to figure out sorry, my dog is rolling around in the background.
Very cute. We love Danny.
Very cute. And having to figure out like what the other person is thinking just by looking at what they've done so far. I think it's not a real life situation at all.
Yes.
But I don't know. They're good. Maybe it's like some skill that could come in handy someday.
It's interesting because Jordan, go ahead.
I just want to say that I don't like it. I think it's stupid. But what I will say is that I also think there's like an element to it that's like rigged because they're all using the same stove and ovens. Yeah. So how do they know which pot?
I bet they're marked by tape.
Maybe. I don't know, but why aren't they telling us that? Something about it feels fishy to me. I'm like, we don't have all the information here. So I'm skeptical.
Yeah. Okay. We'll get to the bottom of this.
I mean, certainly a reality show would never rig it.
Not my Top Chef.
Not my Top Chef. Hands off my Top Chef.
Mm-hmm.
Too soon. Okay, gorgeous. So that is what's at stake here. Here are the 2 dishes that are made. Let me pull it up. First, we get on the red team a pan roasted New York strip with whipped miso, avocado puree, and pickled vegetables. Now, Garrett, we usually just do a thumbs up or thumbs down. The criteria is as loose as you'd like it to be. If you think it sounds good, if you think it sounds like a good Top Chef dish, whatever. I am interested in whipped miso, so I will say yes.
This sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Then the other team, the blue team, made sablefish, aka black cod, not trout, Jen. Sablefish with sauteed mushrooms, shiitake broth, and a radish salad.
I like mushrooms. Anything with mushrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, Garrett, as you can see, so for those who don't know, for my very famous 3 posts of when I went to Portland, almost all those food recommendations are from Garrett and Rachel. So we are famously vegetarians.
Yes.
But we vote on meat in the show because that's our democracy, and that's beautiful.
I have to make meat at my work, so
make meat, and you know, once in high school we did a potluck, and I got assigned the lemon rosemary chicken, and I tried to tell them that I don't really know how to do that. And like my family's a vegetarians, like I didn't know how to cook this, but they made me do it anyway. And I had to go to my great neighbor, and her mom helped me. Huh?
Is this the fish neighbor?
No, different.
You have a fish neighbor?
I had a neighbor that gave me fish. Her dad gave me fish.
Iconically has a neighbor that the only time she's ever eaten fish was the time that her neighbor made her eat some fish.
Oh, beautiful. And a teacher made me eat fish once. Anyway, it's incredible time.
Yeah.
So we get those as our 2 dishes. On top, we get Jen's team / the blue team. They get $10,000 to share, but they can also let it ride. And for the elimination challenge, say, okay, but you can take the money now, or you can each win $10,000 if you win the elimination challenge. But then if you don't win, you obviously don't get any money. And our elimination is Restaurant Wars, where they make 2 restaurants in 17 minutes that both are bad. So that is an incredible every season thing we have to watch. We see them kind of shopping at Restaurant Depot and this like awkward interaction about the sparkling water.
Yeah.
I find Robin annoying, but I feel so bad for her. They're so rude.
I think she was just trying to be silly.
I know. And it comes off like a weird, just bad sense of humor. It's a whole.
Yeah. At first I was like, maybe it's just the way they're editing her, but I do feel like, I don't like Laureen. I'm like, I get the guys being rude to her because they all seem like absolute idiots. Yeah. But like with Laureen, I'm like, I don't know if I believe that she would just be super rude to another woman. She seems like pretty normal and like nice. So I do have the feeling that like Robin was extremely grating and like pushy to be around. But I also think, you know, in that kind of classic way of like, instead of the guys being like, oh, actually the way that you're like behaving is making me feel bad, they're just like, she's a dumb slut bitch and I hate her because she's old or whatever. You're just like, okay, whatever.
Absolutely. I agree with you. This is the push and pull of are you annoying or are they bullies or is it both? And I do think it is both. And like we've talked about this, like there's so many people that are annoying and I would not bully them. I just might not like to talk to them. But they're like, I get that they live in a house, but I don't think I would be as rude as they are.
Yeah. Well, I like to think, but under like high pressure, I might be short with them. Yeah. And that could easily be cut to like.
Absolutely. I also think that a lot of people in the real world are too sensitive to people who are annoying. Like people will be like, oh, she's annoying. I'm like, calm down. Like, first of all, everyone's annoying in their own way to specific people. So I think people need to be aware of that. Yeah. Then on top of that, I'm like, if they're not doing anything wrong and it really is that they're just annoying, it's like, get over it. It's fine. If they're not mean, I'm like, you don't have to marry them. Just suck it up and like be chill is how I feel about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And make sure, like in improv, how many fucking annoying people have you encountered like in a 201 class or whatever?
Billions.
Yeah.
The skill you have to learn of just like everyone's a genius. Like I put that in air quotes, but I don't mean to put it in air quotes. Like, oh, everyone has something to offer. Like
Yeah.
outside of being like rude to you or something, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Deal.
Yeah.
Okay, so whatever. We get to the building of the restaurants. Both of them did a classic thing that I feel early seasons of Top Chef do, where neither restaurant has any specific concept. It's like, let's just like cook food. Yeah. Sure.
Like I didn't like 3 hours isn't enough, and I wanted them to have more time.
Yes. That's what our problem is. It's like if you were to watch if they were to make quick fires all 5 minutes, everyone would probably suck ass at it and you never get any good dishes. But they've kind of calibrated it to give just enough time that it's really challenging, but still it's like 80% of people are producing like pretty interesting stuff. And Restaurant Wars is like, I think we haven't calibrated it yet. Almost 100% of the time, everyone is preparing hotel food.
Yeah.
It's also always like, it's like, let's get a gay guy or a lady to do front of house. Like it just ends up all being like really lame in every way. And I'm just like, I don't know, nothing about it is good.
Yeah.
I did think Robin's dessert. I want to try that.
Pear.
Can
someone in the chat? There's like a TV show where someone like says "pitié" and it's like funny or something. They say it like that, and I thought it was Mrs. Doubtfire, so I was googling it, and I don't think it's true. But then I ended up looking up some behind the scenes facts in Mrs. Doubtfire, which is interesting. Tim Allen originally supposed to play him. It was kind of interesting.
That would be awful.
That would be very awful.
Yeah.
So we get these two restaurants. They both look whatever. Eli is front of house in one and Lorene is front of house in the other. Here are the dishes that we got for Restaurant Revolt, which I will say, if you want an example of like how you have to treat everyone as a genius and realize everyone brings something to the table. Like Robin straight up says like, oh, like revolting when they're coming up with that name. And they're like, no, like a revolution. It's like, cool.
Yeah.
Have two meanings.
Yeah.
I also think someone else, like, I think if like Michael had brought that up, they would all be like, oh yeah.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
And it's like, I get that there are two meanings, but I think when one of them is a word you would use to describe food that tastes bad, like if you called it like freaking like, I don't know, some other word that has two fucking meanings. That's a weird name for a restaurant.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be as weird as calling it like stink.
I know. I felt like they should have been eliminated just from the name. If the other team was like anywhere close to as good as they were, I feel like, the name Revolt should disqualify you.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So Brian made for an appetizer smoked Arctic char with beets, horseradish, sour cream, and potatoes. So that sounded pretty good to me.
I'm gonna give this a thumbs down because this to me does not sound like it would fit with Arctic char.
Yeah.
Really?
I've never had Arctic char. But I was like, beets, crispy potatoes, horseradish. I'm here for all the accoutrements.
Yeah, the crispy potatoes and sour cream. Yeah, I mean, and I feel like Arctic char, I don't know, that feels like very like you have all of that together, like a Russian thing, a Russian meal.
I guess so. And I could be wrong, right? Don't get me wrong. I'm not an Arctic char expert, but I think for me, I think of an Arctic char as being a little bit more of a delicate flavor. Like it's kind of in that salmon family, but it's on the lighter side of flavor. And I'm like, beets are so strong. I don't know. I just don't know if it's exactly what I would have done. So I'm going to give it a thumbs down.
Okay. And that's what this show is all about. Getting a bunch of viewpoints and coming together. Revolt. So Michael Voltaggio made pressed chicken with calamari noodles, tomato confit, and a fennel salad. I don't know what pressed chicken is.
This sounds good to me. I think it's probably just like a pounded out chicken breast, right?
I that's what I would guess. I'll say yes to this when I look at it. If I saw that on a menu, I think pressed chicken. This might be just a commentary on the culinary industry. Sounds gross to me.
It does sound gross, and I don't think it's a common term in the culinary industry.
Garrett, what do you think?
Yeah, I know they loved it, but like, yeah, it's not one that is appealing sounding to me.
Yes. Okay, gorgeous. So then we get Brian, who made a duo of beef, braised short rib, and a prime New York strip.
I'm gonna give it a thumbs down because I hate a duo.
Yeah.
I think a duo is for cowards, and that's what I have to say about that.
I hate it for. Yeah, you go first, Garrett.
Well, why do you hate a duo? Why is it for cowards?
It's such, on this show at least, I think it is such a cop out in terms of making one actually good dish. A lot of people end up making two mediocre to not good dishes, or one dish that's good and one dish that's not. So strategically for Top Chef, I think it's a bad idea. And then secondly, I think people put two things together that feel completely unnecessary. I think they think it just sounds kind of chefy and like looks good on a plate, but it's like, I don't want to eat like a steak and like
another type of steak,
cold brisket, like in one bite. Like that just doesn't make sense to me. I think there would have to be something like, it would have to be really specific. Like maybe if you sold me on a dish that was like really crispy fried chicken paired with like some kind of like chicken made into like a mousse or something, like where it was really like,
it to me, what you're pointing to, Jordan, and correct me if I'm wrong, is sort of the intentionality. Like, do these things go together? Are you doing a trio of corn that's like, I'm highlighting 3 different aspects of corn in these 3 ways. It's meaningful that I've done a trio. It's not just I'm trying to show I can do 3 different preparations. This is still one dish as opposed to 3 little dishes or something. And often on this show, they're like, I did a trio of beef. So I made beef carpaccio, a steak, and a hamburger. And I'm like, cool. That is 3 different dishes. I don't think they go together. I don't think that's one dish. Those are like tapas or something.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
absolutely. It needs
I
to
agree.
be cohesive. I'm like, you could do like, okay, and I'm thinking about it more. I'm like, you could do like a tuna steak with like a tonado sauce, right? Which is also made from tuna. I'm like, oh, that's like kind of that's like a duo, and it's kind of an interesting play on like veal with the tonado sauce. Like, okay, maybe I could buy into it. But just doing 2 differently cooked pieces of beef next to each other, I'm just like, I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
I agree.
Do you love a duo, Garrett?
When
I said that.
What's that?
You seemed offended.
No. I had nothing wrong with duos. Okay. I mean, there was nothing right with duos. There's nothing.
I think duos. Email to the president.
I was just curious, and your explanation rings true with me. I think what you said makes a lot of sense.
You were duo curious.
I was duo curious. Exactly. Yeah.
Perfect.
Next we get Michael Voltaggio, who made cod with a parsley sauce, Billy B croquette, and a zucchini tenderloin.
A zucchini tenderloin?
I don't even know what that means.
Well, there's like cauliflower steaks. Have you had cauliflower steaks?
I have, and I don't like them.
You don't like them?
Can I say why?
Yeah. No.
Please, Garrett, can I say why?
Fine.
Okay. I think people cut cauliflower too thick, and the surface area should be smaller so you can take up more sauce.
Yeah.
The center of a cauliflower does not hold sauce very well, or flavor or seasoning. So by cutting it even thicker, you're just making me very sad. So I don't want a steak. I'll take florets of cauliflower over a steak, or a really, really thin steak that can actually have like crisp and texture and absorb the sauce. I'm assuming Jordan feels similarly.
I do feel similarly. I think it's kind of a lazy vegetarian option, unless it's done like super well. Like I had a cauliflower piccata at a place in New York called Blossom many years ago.
Oh yeah.
I still think about it because it was really good. So I'm like, okay, that was cool. But yeah, sometimes I think it's just like kind of lazy, and I'll never buy the thing. I eat a predominantly vegan diet. My parents don't eat meat. Like I grew up eating all the vegetarian options you can think of, like Reka. And I think that like when someone is just like, oh, spaghetti, instead of spaghetti, use zucchini, it tastes the same. And you know what I mean? Like it's just not, it's not true. Like I'm okay with a vegetable tasting like a vegetable. Don't try to convince me of something else. Just say it's a big piece of cauliflower.
Especially if you're like, that's your entree. Yes. And like, cool, you better give me 7 cauliflower steaks because this isn't filling and there's no protein.
I've never had it at a restaurant. I've only made it at home.
I'm sure it's great when you make it at home.
Yes. Yeah. I made like a cauliflower type steak situation with like fermented bean paste and like gochujang and stuff, and I got crispy, and that was really nice because I made it thin, which is what I wanted. Okay, beautiful. Next we get Brian with dessert, who makes a flexible ganache with spearmint ice cream and chocolate twirls. I would eat it.
I'll give it a thumbs up. It does not sound good, but I'm sure it tasted good.
Yeah,
I'm not a big mint and chocolate guy.
Interesting.
But
hey, we like.
Oh yeah. Well, most people do.
Yeah. But you're
I just think peanut butter and chocolate
is incredible.
Is the greatest pairing.
Georgia.
It is the greatest pairing that you could ever have. I think mint and chocolate, is there's nothing exciting. But I don't know, the mint kind of overpowers the chocolate for me.
Now, Garrett,
peanut butter complements the chocolate.
I'm on both sides. There's good ice creams on both sides, but
sure.
What do you think is your most like controversial, I'll say either ice cream opinion or just food opinion?
Hit us with a hot take.
With a hot take?
Yeah.
I don't know. I should have prepared some hot takes. I'm sure I have some hot takes.
So fun. If you want to think on it too, that's absolutely fine.
I know. I do have some hot takes. I just have to remember them.
Do you have what's your favorite ice cream flavor?
My favorite ice cream is anything peanut butter.
Anything peanut butter.
Probably.
Oh, wait, I knew this about you.
Yeah.
Rachel told me because I think I made like a peanut butter cake or something.
Yes.
And she was like, Garrett will like that.
Yes, I remember seeing it and being like, to Rachel, can you get me that?
That's so funny. Yeah, I'm a peanut butter freak as well. I will eat any amount of it.
Right now my favorite is the peanut butter prana from, it's the worst name, but Yoga-urt.
I've always wanted to go there.
It's a vegan frozen yogurt.
Yeah.
And so it's all nut based, so it's extra peanut buttery. And then I get the chocolate hard shell on it.
Yes.
And it is incredible.
Okay.
I probably like that. This is my thing. I disagree with you, Garrett. I find I love savory peanut butter. So like a peanut sauce or boiled peanuts or a curry that has peanut in it, like anything like that I love. But with peanut butter and chocolate, I find the peanut butter so overpowering, and I'm a chocolate first kind of guy, so I always want maximum chocolate. And when I do chocolate and peanut butter, I find it too overpowering. What I will say, and I think you kind of like hit the nail on the head with the thing you were just talking about, is if something is peanut butter forward and accented with chocolate, I think I like that because then I can look at it as a peanut butter dessert. But when somebody's like, oh, the combo of peanut butter and chocolate, I'm like, peanut butter's too overpowering.
I generally think chocolate ice cream is just fine. It's not that fun. I don't enjoy it.
I want some pizzazz in there. I want chocolate orange. I want a chocolate.
Chocolate orange.
With Texas sheet cake, the chocolate Texas sheet cake ice cream at Jenny's.
At Jenny's?
I need
so good.
Oh, okay. Well, so this is more Rachel's opinion, but we are a house that believes that Jenny's is trash.
And guess what? I get it.
Yes.
I think there's flavors.
This is what I'll say. a couple things I've had from Jenny's have been really good, and other things I've had have been very unremarkable. It's never my go-to ice cream place, but that vegan Texas chocolate sheet cake ice cream, especially for a vegan ice cream, is unbelievable. But a lot of their flavors I'm underwhelmed by. I'll one up you, Garrett, with an even hotter take. I think that hard ice cream in general is not that fun, a little underwhelming.
I generally agree, and I think that's the problem with Jenny's, is that they are especially hard.
Yes,
they're like a harder. They go all in on the hard ice cream.
Whereas
Salt and Straw, Salt and Straw is like creamy and melty. And
yes, I think Jenny has a mix-ins issue. There's something going on at the factory. They need more mix-ins. And I think
Salt and Straws does too.
I haven't been in a while. I think the nation has a mix-ins issue. This is sort of something that needs to go to the executive branch. Like, there's not enough chunks in anything. One of my favorite ice cream spots, I won't even name it because I love them, so I don't want anything bad to happen to them. But they talk a big game with, I'll pop it in the chat here. They pop a big game with what's going to be in my ice cream, and then I get 2 tiny little pieces of it. They have some flavors that are unbelievable, so I'll never ever ever stop going there. I'll go every fucking night.
We go there a lot, and when it's good, this is not on anyone else because they don't know what we're talking about. When it's good, and when it's, but I would say like 7 out of 10 times it's not hitting the right way.
Oh, really? I think every time it's hitting. It's hitting. I live right down the street from it, and I love it.
Garrett,
I will say that. Okay. Sorry, Reka.
Because I think their base is perfectly creamy.
I think their base is great, and I think that they have a few flavors. Okay, I'm fine with this too. If there is an ice cream that has no mix-ins, one time, can I say a flavor I had there, Reka?
Yeah, I don't own them.
One time I had a yuzu creamsicle.
So good.
From there.
So good.
Unbelievable. Because it was like ice cream mixed with sorbet, really smooth, like perfect.
So
other stuff that claims to have mix-ins.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the issue.
That's what I'm saying. You told me universal healthcare. I don't have healthcare. And that's how I feel sometimes when I go there. And it's specifically with their seasonals.
Yes.
The seasonals are the gamble. And I'm always trying to have
honey cake is one of my favorite desserts.
Yeah.
And with all the layers, and they do a honey cake ice cream. I never tried that one.
Yeah.
I did try that honey cake ice cream. I did, and I thought it was tremendous. And I went back the next day and it was sold out.
Damn. Okay. We got to do a trip there because I love them till I die. I'll never say a bad word out loud. I love them. So I'm like, let me pull you aside. You got to put more mix-ins in. I'm trying to hype you guys up. I'm trying to get you guys nationwide. Let me
tell you what, I will say someone's name in this chat that I like and want to do even better and open more locations, specifically one near my house. Magpies. Soft serve. Garrett, what are you going to say?
You want the pie. Let me guess. You're the pie guy.
No. We were all in on Magpies. And then they expanded down the street from our old house. And their quality has dropped. At all Magpies, their quality dropped when they expanded. It's icier now. It used to be perfectly creamy.
It is icier.
It's icier.
I noticed that. My favorite bakery, I won't say. Same thing happened with them.
Is this fun to everybody in the chat? Is this fun? We're talking about all these places that you don't care about.
Absolutely. I'm so sorry, guys. We're just trying. Here's the thing, and this is actually cool because we are all food people. We're just trying not to bad talk any of our independent businesses.
Yes.
We're trying to tell you they got their faults, but we're not trying to say don't go to them. You gotta go to them.
You gotta
go to them. But we will stop being annoying.
Okay, sorry. We love you guys.
We love you guys. Okay. Robin made a pear pâtissier with vanilla ice cream and elderflower syrup, and it sounds awesome.
Yeah.
That argument she had with Michael was awful. It made me so uncomfortable.
Yes.
I don't know what. I have a visceral reaction when someone is trying to talk and another person's like, hey, like chill out. I'm like, whoa, everyone's getting more annoyed right now.
Yeah, and the thing that they're doing is opposite of what they're saying.
Yeah.
They're saying relax, but they're doing stuff to make you.
That.
Yeah.
And it sounded like what the issue was is he's like, these pieces are too big. And she's like, we said we would cut them into thirds. This is what a third looks like. So to me, the response would be like, oh, that's a third. Let's do a fourth.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Not like whatever the fuck happened.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's okay. So then next we have Jen Carroll, who made the trout with the brown butter emulsion, hazelnuts, and a braised endive. I love brown butter.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's good, I'll say.
Yeah.
Maybe. Then Jen also made an Alaskan halibut with mussels, clams, and a saffron aioli in consomme. And am I nuts? It looked like there was like a toast point on top. I have no idea. This sounds like whatever to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
This one just sounds like, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Just a bunch of stuff thrown in.
Yes. Okay. Then we hop over to the next team. We don't actually get to see what their appetizers are. I noted it was like skillet asparagus and something else because Maureen doesn't announce it. But normally when that happens, they'll still show you the close up of what it is. And they'll just kind of dock the person for not saying it. But for this one, we don't know. It could have been like something nobody's ever heard of.
Huh.
Yeah. Did you have something?
Oh no, I didn't clock that.
Yeah. That's okay.
Yeah.
Kevin and Lorene did a shared dish. They made lamb with carrot jam.
But-
yeah, go ahead.
Asparagus and 6-minute egg and right.
Good. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
that.
That's good, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great.
That does sound good.
Yeah.
Kevin and Lorene made a lamb with a carrot jam, green bean salad, and a morel mushroom sauce.
This sounds good to me because I love a mushroom.
I love a mushroom. Carrot jam sounds great to me.
Yeah.
Try that.
We're on a carrot kick right now.
I was just going to ask, are you a carrot fan? Okay, cool. What are you doing?
It got kicked off by this pizza place Ronan in LA. They had a side of carrots that was just astounding. It was.
How was it prepared?
I knew you were gonna ask.
Please, Garrett, tell us anything about them.
I know.
How dare you tease us like this?
It was it's
just describe them to me. What did they taste like?
Okay. It was a while ago. It was a while ago.
He's fully lying and getting.
I know.
Did he eat these carrots?
Yeah,
no, they were okay. It was like a side of carrots with spiced yogurt, honeycomb, and coriander, and they were just roasted perfectly, and the honeycomb in them, like just it was so sweet and savory, and yeah, it was really good, and it was like the best thing we had at Ronan.
That's awesome. Have you been to Rustic Canyon, Garrett?
No.
They have a carrot cake there that I feel like maybe you'd like. It's like very carroty. And they have like gummy carrots on top.
Oh.
Remember, like dehydration gummying kind of thing. Hi, Rachel.
We're talking carrots. The Ronan carrots that you had the other day. The carrots from Ronan.
Yeah, I dream about those guys.
Incredible. It was a very carroty carrot cake. It was so good.
I made a carrot soup last night or 2 nights ago. That was.
And what was in it, Garrett?
Oh, God, I knew you'd ask that.
Lovely story.
Roasted carrots, 2 pounds of roasted carrots, a roasted onion, a whole thing of ginger, and then just a bunch of coriander and cumin.
I love carrot ginger soup.
Yeah,
so
and
good.
Fresh, homemade. It's incredible.
My grandma will kind of only remember like a few dishes I've made for her. One are these cookies I've made for her when I was like 15. She'll talk about them still.
Oh.
And another one is that soup you made. But the thing is, the trick is I can never make it as good as the first time. She's like, it was better the first time.
Yeah.
I'll never recreate it. It was a absolutely. Okay, then Kevin made glazed pork belly, pork sausage, cornmeal mousseline, and a red eye gravy. This sounds good. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds fine. Red eye gravy, I'm not that into, but what can you do?
What can you do? And that's all she wrote. They didn't have a dessert.
Yeah.
What do we think? Dessert, yes or no? on Restaurant Wars. Do you do it or no?
Look, I don't watch enough but they were saying you do a dessert, you go home. And then they were proved wrong. And you gotta have a dessert.
I think for
that doesn't
me,
make sense.
because I have an illness, I would be like so sad.
Yeah.
It just ended on this like double pork dish.
Yeah.
It makes me so sad. I need a dessert. Sound off in the comments, dessert or no dessert?
Yeah, even if it's no dessert, I'm like, it has to be something that feels like
an end, like
something, or like, so I know sometimes they've done like crazy like cheese dishes before.
Yeah, like do a
like,
cheese plate.
Yeah, something that feels like a firework at the end of your meal.
Yeah.
Cheese board. So do you think a cheese board is a satisfying end?
No.
But I would take it over
nothing.
What they did over nothing. And I will say, they have done some really interesting cheese boards on this, where they've done like a brulee of blue cheese and then made a teal of something. Like they've done some like cool stuff that feels more like a dessert to me. A regular cheese board, no.
I have a feeling, Garrett, that Top Chef Colorado might be your bag. I'm biased because of my favorite seasons, but there's a woman on that season who is from Alaska, and she's very like use the whole animal, use the whole item type of thing. And she did something really cool for a cheese challenge where she ground up the rinds of a cheese that was, done being used and made a cracker out of it.
Oh, wow.
I loved that.
That's super cool.
That kind of stuff is like awesome. And
I'm definitely going to watch Top Chef Portland.
It's very good.
Okay.
It's very good. And I wonder if you've like been to any of those spots. I'm sure you have.
Well, sure.
Okay. Incredible. Okay. So at judges table, on top is Revolt, and the winner is Michael Voltaggio. On the bottom is Mission, and eliminated is Maureen.
Sad, but her time.
Yes. Yeah. Agreed. This was an okay episode. What did we think? I mean, it's Restaurant Wars. What are you gonna do?
Restaurant Wars is always bad until like maybe like last season or whatever. It's like they've changed it a little, but in general, Restaurant Wars is always bad.
Because here's the thing, Garrett. Like, I feel like you're a big food person. There are probably things in an episode of a food show that you remember years after. And we are Top Chef fans. And from these early seasons of Top Chef, none of the dishes that they make in Restaurant Wars are memorable. They're all like what you just saw. They're all like sirloin steak with green beans.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever. Very forgettable. So it makes the challenge feel kind of pointless.
Yeah. I did like how the owner of the restaurant kept saying sustainable.
Yeah, that was very cool.
He said sustainable a lot.
Yeah. And that has to be worth something in 2010 or whenever.
Yeah, 2009. I looked it up.
Oh, great.
2009. That's why all the hair was spiky.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. And I don't know. I'm curious to see where the restaurant war is in Portland.
Yes.
Because I want to see what restaurant, I could see that, like what restaurant is highlighted. And would you go eat at a restaurant war?
Yes.
Place. Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
If one of these people was like, I fucking shit on a log, I would go eat it. Yeah.
If they were like, you want to come see the Top Chef staff PA bathrooms, right? And I would be like,
yes. We're stupid.
That's our truth.
Well, actually, Garrett, you're a huge Portland head.
Yes.
What do you like so much about the food scene there?
So growing up, it was always really good. And it's really good because they have this thing, the urban growth boundary. So it kind of kicked off local like farm to table in Portland, because farms were so close. You couldn't build the city past a certain line. Cool. And so it was farms right there. Yeah. And they have a law where bars have to sell a certain percentage of their profit has to come from food. It can't all come from alcohol.
Oh,
which means bars have to have food that you want to eat.
Your friend Dylan told me this.
Yeah.
I was eating a lot at bars.
Yeah. Bars have great food there.
Really?
And I think, and then I think those two coupled with, I guess, trioed with how cheap it used to be in Portland to live there and to have rent. You could open up a cheap place and like, try something out. And like chefs, didn't have, could like pop around and it wasn't, they didn't need to make a whole living out of being in the kitchen, so they could experiment more.
Yeah.
It's more expensive now. So, but the food scene's still great. So, but I think those three are why. I don't know if I answered your question, but
that's really cool and unique. Because I think people know it's a good food scene, but they don't know that like, those people really take food seriously.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Well, Garrett, if people want to see more from you, where should they go?
You can go to my Instagram, which is gpalm79, or my Twitter, which is Garrett Palm, or on Smosh, on Smosh Pit, Eat It or Yeet It, where I make bad food. I make a lot of bad food. We started working with restaurants, and I want to work with more restaurants.
Can you name an example? Like, what's the worst thing you've made?
Well, I'll interrupt by saying that the only time I've ever seen Garrett in the office, he was boiling a bunch of Mountain Dew to make into some kind of dish. So please, Garrett, still feel free to answer. But I did just want to say that's the work I've seen Garrett doing, because obviously Mythical owns Smosh, so we are coworkers technically. And that's the work I've seen Garrett doing. Yeah,
that was for a Mountain Dew ramen. And so I made a Mountain Dew ramen broth.
Is it okay to say that makes me sick?
That's okay. It's hard. It's weird because like I love food. I love good food, and I'm getting known for bad food. The worst thing I made was a literal mud pie made out of edible clay and then full of cockroaches. Yeah, that was
dead or alive?
Dead.
And
I didn't eat it.
Did somebody?
Somebody ate it.
Who ate it?
Jackie Uwe.
Garrett.
And that's the closest we've had to somebody actually vomiting on the show.
Wait, because it tasted so bad?
And the textures. Yeah. That was the worst. That was the worst thing.
That is revolting.
Oh,
and with that, a Bravo producer came in and threatened to kill me, but is also telling me,
Rika, you have to stop hooking up with him. I've told you.
He called me cute. What is that, babe? Oh my God. Okay. Well, Garrett, I just got word that you are Top Chef.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that there's actually 2 ways to become a Top Chef. One of them is to win the actual show Top Chef, and the other is to be on this live stream YouTube show for charity as a guest.
I had no idea. That's amazing. So do I get the $125,000 and to help me further my open a restaurant?
You do.
Yes, you do. Sponsored by Glad Force Specs kitty trash bags or whatever they do. And very much on the heels of you saying you made a dirt pie with cockroaches in it.
Yeah.
A Top Chef can look like anything.
That's beautiful. A Top Chef can look like anything. A Top Chef can be cockroaches. A Top Chef can be Remy the rat from Ratatouille.
That's true. He's a Top Chef.
Oh, incredible. Well, Garrett, thanks so much.
Thank you guys. Thank you both. I had no idea I would be leaving here at Top Chef, and I just want to thank you too for making my dreams come true.
Spread the word, and you being on this show and being a Top Chef is much easier than being on.
Yeah, it's much easier.
Yeah, this is the easy way.
You don't even have to be Toby Young on our show. And
Okay,
that's
good.
nice. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll catch you during the next episode, and we're sorry you still have to watch Las Vegas.